So what happened yesterday is that I started uploading a video, and my guess is my phone died before it had a chance to upload. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I should upload another video. And I realized this morning, I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, the video from yesterday never finished uploading. So hence why I finished uploading. And I noticed you haven't really posted anything, so I was like, maybe he needs time, I guess. So if you need more time just to chill and think, yeah, you're welcome to it. Yeah, I went ahead and I thought the story that your cousin posted was cute and humorous, and definitely the life of a toddler. Oh man. So yeah, this morning I am definitely glad for shady spots, because I decided I'm going to go ahead and, I fell asleep in Planet Fitness parking lot, and it was sunny, so I ended up waking up, and then I went over to I was in the mood for eggs, so I went over to Taco Bell and got it for less than $2, because I also got guacamole. And then I went over to church. Whenever I got over there, I saw that the people who do landscaping were there, and they were parked in the spot that I usually go to, which is next to a dumpster. And I was like, no. And I was like, what is the next shady spot? I was like, the library. So I went to the library, and yeah, was shady. I slept for a good while until 11:30 or so. It was good. I enjoyed it. So yeah. Let's see what else is interesting and good and fun I'm gonna hang out with a friend of mine today. I ended up not working yesterday, but I ended up calling a couple friends and talking to them for a couple hours or so. The lady that I was an au pair to, and she seems to be better overall, I think. I told her where I'm moving to, and she's like, yeah, if the job, I'm just thinking worst case scenario, so that way you can be prepared. And she's like, yeah, if it doesn't work out there, then you'll have enough money to move back down somewhere warmer. I was like, that would be Florida. I was like, yeah, I might be able to do that. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. And amusing for sure. So yeah. So yeah, I ended up not going to church yesterday because I was talking to my friend on the phone, but to her sister, my friend's, the lady I was an au pair to, she has a younger sister, and we talked, and then yeah, so it's good talking with them, especially since the last time I actually talked to her was maybe before she had a baby. So they both have kids. One of them has a 2-year-old, and the other one has a 1-year-old. So the lady with the au pair, of course, 2-year-old, and the other lady has a 1-year-old. I'm like, this feels slightly weird. Wow, 2 years old. So yeah. What else is new? Nothing really. Me and a friend of mine are going to hang out. I'm going to take a shower and then double check to see if she's available. And then if she's not, I'm going to start doing laundry. If she is, I'll go over to where she's at and hang out. And we'll see about watching a movie. She suggested we watch Grogu. Honestly, Grogu wasn't that great. I mean, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. It was basically it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I think the writing could have been better. The special effects were really cool. It was basically like an entire season put down into 2.5 hours. That's basically what it was. Basically, something happens, they're in the middle of a mission, they take care of it, they come back, and they're led to another mission. During that mission, they go ahead and they're told they have to do something else, and they're staying focused, or they have to do, during that mission they have to do something, and they're staying focused during the mission, and then they end up getting a little bit sidetracked in order to take care of the mission in the long run. Well, then they end up having to save everyone involved, basically the good guys. And it's like, okay. I mean, it was good. Again, like, the cinematography was great. Like, the special effects were great. The creatures were really cool. I loved being able to see a different side of it, where you actually get to see a Hutt, like a Hutt fight, and you see a Hutt with muscles, which totally, I was like, I've never seen this before in my life. This is, wow. I think we can go. So, yeah, it was, like, really, really cool in terms of, like, being able to see a Hutt fight. They're working on the power line, so they have stop signs up. And then they have a police, like, doing traffic. So, yeah. Overall, those parts were cool. Again, the script writing could have been maybe a little bit better. But yeah, because, yeah, definitely could have been better. Yeah, aside from that, like, anyways, there's my rant. You've heard it before from me. But aside from that, I would honestly have to say that I would have preferred, like, so she was like, yeah, we can even go and watch that movie. I was like, it's okay. It's good for one time. But overall, I think I would prefer to watch, was it the one with Ryan Reynolds, where basically he ends up saving Earth. That one was good. I really, really enjoyed it. And also Little Creature Rocky. If they wanted to create a sequel to that, and from what I understand, it's actually based upon a book, they could probably do it, maybe. Or if there's a sequel to that book, yeah, it would do very well. I honestly think, especially with how well movies are doing when they're based upon books, may not all books, but like, or not all movies have done well when based upon books, but that one was like really good. It was really amazing. I really enjoyed it. And I think, you know what, I might need to start parking under shade. And yeah, because the air conditioner was cool the entire time that I was driving, and it wasn't hot, and I really, really appreciated that. It was so good. It felt cold and cool. So yeah, I liked it. Oh yeah, so I posted some articles. So I posted some articles on my page, on my Facebook page, and one of them was about this church up in Michigan, because Michigan is getting, yeah, is a very, getting, so Michigan is just interesting for news. It's like the chaotic law, chaotic evil-ish at times. I mean, they did try and kidnap the governor, so yeah. It's chaotic evil at times. Like, was it Florida is just chaos. Hey, Florida man, hold my beer. Let's go ahead and run across. a field that has a bowl, and it's like, hey, or like, let's go ahead and wrestle an alligator. Florida news, what can I say? But yeah, so overall, what was it? Yeah, so I was like, I find this very interesting. And so I ended up looking at the church, and then I called the church because I was curious about it. And personally, I'm more so on the side of the church anyways. But I called him and I was like, hey, so what denomination are you? And he said non-denominational. He's actually the pastor's son, but he is an adult. So I'm wondering if he's the youth pastor. And he explained, so it's basically a church where they like host weddings and such, and then they gave you zoning law where basically they can only have church Sunday mornings. They can have no more than 60 people, but the facility itself can have up to 250 people, or more, I think. But yeah, so anyways, there's that. And then also part of the zoning law says, or some of the permissions that were given was that they can have more than 4 to 6 events per year. And I'm like, but it's a church. Like, it's a church. It's a church. You're gonna have more than 4 to 6 events. And then also, like, they got the place and then they renovated it. And whenever they renovated it, like, they bought it in like 2024, renovated it, and it was like over the fall, and then I guess it was up and running by winter. And whenever I asked, oh man, okay, the window feels wonderful. Whenever I asked what denomination, he explained that basically it's not denominational. His parents were Baptist, but other churches also use the facility, like if they have similar beliefs. So like Catholic, or like there's a Catholic church that meets once a week, I think, and there's another denomination that meets once a week. And I was like, wow. And I was like, is she an atheist? I need to go back. So I asked him, so what did I ask him exactly? Oh, this air feels good. I need to grab another bottle of water, actually. I asked him, so what did I ask him? I asked him, he explained that she actually lives just on the street from the house, but she lives near the highway, so she shouldn't be able to hear anything that was going on. And it's like, okay, that's really weird. And then he also explained that he thinks that she's just on a power trip, because it's like, okay, there's another event center there that they can basically operate with more than 60 people, from what it sounds like. And then because of all this, because they also have a lawyer, because they want to make sure that everything's good, you also have to make sure that the place is up to code and follows zoning laws and everything. So they got everything done. They're just waiting for the official at the, what is it called? The official with the town to go ahead and approve the zoning laws, or approve them for like certain things. And they're like, oh yeah, you can only do this. And then in response, people were putting down, well, she's going directly against the First Amendment, where it's basically, I guess, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So, like, you might say only 60 people, but what church are you, like, there's only so many churches that have 60 people or less, and it's like, okay, that's pretty hard to do, and to maintain a church in terms of, like, financial, or, like, and what I mean by financial, it's not just paying the pastor and anyone else, it's paying the water, electricity, and then any maintenance fees, unless the people are generally semi-well off. And so I was like, why? And I was like, is she an atheist? And he's like, I don't think so. She did get married in church. That was his mindset. Anyways, that's what he said. And then, what was that? He mentioned, he was like, I think she's just on a power trip. And I'm just like, yeah, that's really dumb. So because of that, what is that the lawyer went ahead and they've had a lawyer involved in this process just to make sure that everything's good to go. And finally, after waiting for like a year and a half, like they still have not been approved for like the zones and such, he went ahead and filed the lawsuit. I'm like, you know what, I actually approve, because like, especially when they did everything and she's like, oh yeah, we're only gonna do this like for this, like, I'm just like, yeah, that's just what? So yeah, he did explain that they had an article made, I think a few months or a year ago. They were hoping that it would get some traction, but it didn't. So I think it was like a year ago, and then I'm like, yeah, I saw the article. I'm all the way down in this state. Tell me what's going on. So, yeah, because his parents are pastors, and then they're a little closer to the story than, like, the article itself. So, yeah, I was just like, that's just why? Like, just why is she... Yeah, so overall, it's really weird, I think, that she's like, yeah, no, I'm... So my guess is that she just doesn't have anything better to do. And it's like, there are plenty of things to do, like, especially in bigger cities. She is more than welcome to move away and go to bigger cities. So yeah, I'm also creating rubber band balls, so I found a few rubber bands lying around at my job, for example, and of course people throw them away. But I was like, I'm going to start grabbing them and then create a rubber band ball and see how big it gets. And then I might end up throwing away in the future. Who knows? Or bounce it into the trash in the future. So, yeah. No, you're covering my wind. Why are you covering his parking? So I'm not the greatest parker, but like, he's covering 2 parking spots. Okay, it's not covering the wind anymore. Alright, anyways, I will talk to you later. I hope that you have a great day. If there's anything else you want to talk about, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm guessing you prefer not to interact a whole lot, which I get it. There's a time to be social and time not to be. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I'll respond tonight. It'll definitely be tonight. So yeah, bye.